Greetings, Light Tribe. Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silverman for Harmony Energy Healing. Doing a video about gratitude for those who test us. After conversations with friends who offer different perspectives, they might be similar perspectives, but sometimes someone will present something to us in a way that we very much identify with or that resonates with us. Anyway, and so those kind of things inspire me to do little videos or writings or whatever. And I have done this too, even recently, where we thank someone for something we learned from them. Even if they've done something that we think is like way out of line, unfair, hurtful, whatever our response or reaction to that is, if we recognize that it made us stronger, because we're strengthening weaknesses in areas, aren't we? So if we recognize that it made us stronger, we can even say, you know what, thanks for helping to make me stronger, because then that is acknowledgement that you're not in a place of stuckness because of that thing. Whatever the event was, or however you felt about it, or whatever it showed you, right? So we're all being tested all the time. All the time. So we might have had something that happened to us a year and a half ago, you know, that we learned a lot the hard way. And we know we became stronger, but then guess what? Things come around the spiral and it comes around again. And it's like, okay, here's that thing again. Maybe, you know, similar thing, different person. How are you feeling about it now? You know, is that still tender? It'll poke you and see where you're at. And you might notice that you're better at some things. I don't know how to say that, but like, in other words, certain things don't trigger you as much, if that's the word. So that's the thing, is when you're not triggered by it, you're in your power. It's not having power over you. And if it's triggering something, it just could be an unhealed wound. And sometimes we don't even know what that is. We don't know why that's doing that. And so a lot of us are on healing journeys where we're doing the work that we need to release what doesn't serve us, to rise to those higher levels, to feel more peaceful and accepting and forgiving of ourselves and others. And I know my dad had told me years ago, you know, it's nobody's responsibility to make you happy. Nobody's responsible to make anybody else happy. That's our own responsibility. Like, and I've learned a lot about not having expectations and and to learn how to detach, as I've talked about before. And then I saw a post that was, I thought, really great, that said something like, it's not anybody else's job to like me, it's my job to like me. In other words, there's a lot of things we probably like about ourselves, but when things get reflected back to us, we have certain reactions. Now, sometimes it's because it's showing us something in us that needs to be healed, and sometimes it's showing us someone else's issues. And so it's up to us to determine what that's showing us, basically, and what we're going to do with it. But to be in gratitude for what we learned from someone, even if it was hard. And if they keep, I don't want to say redoing it, but if they keep repeating the pattern, I think it's just testing again and again. Maybe until we get to the point where we say, I'm not going to be drawn into that. It's not working. Piss off. Take your shit somewhere else. Or, you know, to where we get to a point that we don't let it bother us anymore. So I do think they're tests, and just to be in gratitude for what we learn from them and how we strengthen those areas. Again, and some people don't even mean to do things, like they're not trying to be mean to people sometimes, if that's the word, unkind, whatever it is they do. That boggles the mind sometimes. Okay. And sometimes people work out their stuff, or they're trying to work out their stuff through us, I guess, in certain ways. And so from our perspective, it's up to us to determine what it means and what we're going to do with it, what we're going to do about it, how we're going to respond or react. And it's, you know what? It's so totally okay to take a distance from that stuff, and you're not being mean or unkind or bitchy or selfish or unsociable or unfriendly or whatever, to step away from that. Even though it might come back at you to be presented like you are. And then, you know, I've just been talking to a few friends lately about different things, you know, how we're all being tested. And I feel like I said, it keeps coming back around. People saying that so-and-so said something like, I don't know, that just isn't even true, that then goes around as rumors. And then it's just a test. It's a test. Just to be very careful. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say too is, like, you know how sometimes you think something, you'll see something, and you think something because of what you see, and you find out you were wrong. Like a couple weeks ago or something, I shut my stuff down on Facebook for a couple days. I shut it down like on Friday night, and I turned it back on, or was it Saturday night? Anyway, I shut off on a night, and I took the whole next day off, and then turned it on the next day. But a couple people came in, and they're like, "Oh, well, you blocked me, or did you know thought I blocked them?" I said, "No, I didn't block. I just, because when you shut your page down, nobody can find you, and it looks like you've been blocked." So you know how, like, sometimes people might think something, and then they'll find out other information to show that, oh, it's not what I thought it was, you know. And even, like, you know, maybe you'll misplace something, and you think, okay, somebody stole this, and then you find it, oh, it's over here, you know, and you automatically think, okay, somebody took it because I can't find it. You know, so sometimes we jump to conclusions, sometimes we think things that aren't true. And sometimes we react to those things, and it's a process of working through things. And also, if we make a mistake, it's not, you know, we don't need to hold it against ourselves, but it is good to acknowledge it. So this is just about being in gratitude for the things that we learn, even the stuff we learn the hard way. The stuff that seems hardest for us that other people might not even understand. They might think, well, why is he or she making such a big deal about that? They don't know. Nobody knows. This is why we can't be quick to judge and slam people when we don't know. Just to be to be able to be in non-judgment is a superpower. Calmness is a superpower. Detachment is a great tool, you know. So knowing that our perspectives are very limited, and being open to new perspectives, because, like I said, when new knowledge and information comes your way, it might change the way you understand something or the way you feel about something. So to allow that knowledge to come in, and to allow yourself to be flexible in changing perspectives and not be so rigid, because none of us knows everything. But kindness and love and compassion heal. And the more of that we can put out to the world, the better for everyone. Everyone. Animals, people, everyone. We do not need to allow people to treat us in harmful, lower vibrational, disrespectful, dishonorable, unkind, shitty ways. We don't need to allow that into our space, but we also don't need to hold it against them when we can recognize that they're very wounded. Anyway, that's it for this one. Peace.